Malayalam cinema is going crazy this year and it's just been 3 months. Let's talk about yet another crazy film. Hello guys, I'm Nona and today we're talking about the latest Malayalam film Purusha Pretham or The Male Ghost. Directed by Krishand, streaming on Sony LIV. The director's last film was Avasuyam, which I've reviewed and I really liked it, and I also got to meet him at IFFK. That was a lovely experience. Now, unlike what I said in my reaction to the trailer of this film, this has nothing to do with Ghost. So please don't have that expectation like me. First thing, I just love the artwork for this film. Just have a look. It's amazing. Now, this film can be considered a neo-noir. And what is that? Let me explain it. Noir is basically a style of making a film where mostly the story is very sinister, and the way it is shot, it's very dark, very gritty. You'll see a lot of shadows, a lot of silhouettes, a lot of black and white tones. And neo-noir is basically modern noir, where it becomes more stylistic through the composition, the framing, the use of different lights, especially red, green, blue. And you'll see a lot of that in this film. Now, I did notice in the cinematography of this film that in every shot, the horizon is in the center. It's at the eye level. That means the camera is always placed horizontal to the eye level. If the character is sitting, the camera will be at the eye level. If a character is standing, the camera will be at the eye level. It's never looking up or looking down. So the horizon always stays the same. Now, according to Steven Spielberg's new film, this should be boring. But with this film, I would really disagree with that. The music in the film, I really enjoyed it. It has very modern beats. There's use of English lyrics. And there are a lot of visual traits too. Whenever someone is talking about an event, we see news clippings of it or some physical documents flash on the screen. And that happens throughout. Then at various moments in the film, suddenly our characters would break in a discussion, which is very random to what's really happening. They're talking about the tide of the river. They're talking about where can a dead body be dumped. And those scenes are long. The discussion keeps going on and on and on, and you just find it hilarious. Then the lemonade, which keeps popping up in your screen, or the orange juice, whichever you like more. And there's so much happening on screen. Each and every frame is very well crafted. And what is it talking about? The film is a satire, which I'm a big fan of. With that, it's also a police procedural. We see the working of the police department, and the way it's depicted, it's so natural, it's so authentic. There are always multiple things happening at a police station. The inspectors keep coming and going. There are multiple people there for different purposes. And not all of this is pointed out every time. Some of it is happening in front of us, some of it is happening in the background. I loved how even the court scenes were so natural. The film is taking a dig at the police practices, from corruption to police brutality to the incompetence to the competence. How even when they follow protocol, things don't land their way. And we also see the hierarchy, how everyone is treated by their seniors. It all travels down from the top to the bottom. Then we have the characters we are following. Super Sebastian, the super cop. He's full of ego. He keeps making up stories, keeps getting insulted by his superiors, and then he does the same thing to his juniors. He's alone, he's lonely, he has to take care of his ailing mother. He has an affair, but we don't know much about that until later in the film, which he's hiding from his mother. Then we have his junior, who always helps him in his stories, does everything that is told to him. But just one time when he doesn't, everything falls apart. Then we have this mysterious lady Susan, whose husband is missing, and she just wants to find him dead. And through cause and effect, their lives get interlinked, and then we see what follows. It all goes into a spiral, exposing the system to us, the viewers, because the characters are already familiar with it. Then just like Avasuyam, we also have social commentary going on. The unidentified dead bodies. It's such a big thing, which actually called Ghost, thus the title, not the supernatural angle. I was wrong. The film shows how big of a problem it is, and still there's no solution. And the film actually mentions the solution. Why is the database for the missing people and these ghosts interlinked? Most of the problems will be solved by that, but no, the incompetence. As I talked about, the police brutality. Then we see the crime against women. I think the whole cast was wonderful. They did a great job. Now, I did feel the length of the film. It became tiring, but I don't think that may happen to everyone. Maybe just for people who are reading the subtitles, because there's so much dialogues going on in the film and you're just constantly reading them. And over that, there's so much visual element in it. So 150 minutes of that really becomes tiring. Now, we have this character and we are following his journey, and we see that through the film, he never really changes. Even at the end, he keeps making up stories, boosting his pride, which is all false. And watching the film, if you expect really big twist, there's none. At the end, you may call it a twist, but it's actually not a twist. You actually see it coming. That is a natural conclusion. Now, with Sebastian's character, they had this very interesting thing called unreliable narrator. We don't know what he's talking about is real or not. And through the film, we see he says something, but something else has happened. So, I wished at the end they had used it to keep it open instead of showing us what had really happened. I think that would have been really interesting. What do you think? You can let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And here you can check out my thoughts on other crazy Malayalam films that came out recently. Should we do a live discussion on this? Let me know that. If you like this, hit the thumbs up button, share this, and I'll see you next time.